phrase or life imprisonment without parole in that first sentence.
What page is that, Young?
Page 2.
What paragraph would that be?
That would be just the paragraph after you see A, B, and C. It will read, under Georgia law, a sentence of death shall not be imposed unless the jury first finds beyond a reasonable doubt, so on and so forth. Strike the phrase or life imprisonment without parole. Anything else?
Yeah. I have objection. I just like to make for the record, Young.
All right.
I would like to object to any legal impact statement to a non-capital victim. And I also like to object to the quantity and the content taken together is inflammatory, prejudicial, and will lead to continually prohibited comparative worth analysis. That's like on all the statements of Officer Crystal. I would like a standing or continued objection on these matters, so I don't have to interrupt with each witness. So I don't have to keep doing it. And Judge, I would also like to move to exclude all further dangerous evidence and arguments. The other day I brought it up, but I haven't heard you or Mr. Morgan say nothing about it. I don't think you ruled on the motion, and I would like a continuous standing objection on that as well.
Both of those are noted, but I do have a question. You have a law on excluding victim impact statements of non-capital victims?
I can't say it right now, but I got all the cases back. I didn't think I was going to have to bring them on cases, but I just couldn't tell it right off. I had to research and get it done. But I thought, or I think I might have saw it somewhere. And I talked to one of the legal team persons on that issue, and I don't have it with me right now, but I just wanted to make it work right.
All right. No, you want to be heard on that, Mr. Morgan?
But we'd already dealt with all the different impact matters, and I think that's appropriate.
Super ready. preliminary instructions to give you before we get into the evidence. Members of the jury, the defendant in this case, Jamie Donnell Hood, has been found guilty of the murder of Elmer Buddy Christian and the murder of Kenneth Amari Ray. And it now becomes your duty to determine within the limits prescribed by law what punishment will be imposed for this offense or offenses. In arriving at this determination, you are authorized to consider all the evidence received here in court in both stages of this proceeding, presented by the state and the defendant throughout the trial before you, unless the court has previously instructed you to consider certain evidence introduced by the state for a limited purpose, in which event such evidence shall not be considered by you in determining punishment. You shall also consider the facts and circumstances, if any, in extenuation, mitigation, or aggravation of punishment. Mitigation or extenuating facts or circumstances are those that you, the jury, find do not constitute a justification or excuse for the offense in question, but that in fairness and mercy may be considered as extenuating or reducing the degree of moral culpability or blame. Aggravating circumstances are those that you, the jury, find increase the guilt or enormity of the offense or add to its injurious consequences. Members of the jury, under the laws of this state, a person found guilty of murder shall be punished by death or life imprisonment without parole or life imprisonment. Under Georgia law, a sentence of death shall not be imposed unless the jury first finds beyond a reasonable doubt and designates in its verdict in writing at least one or more statutory aggravating circumstances. It then fixes the sentence of death or life imprisonment without parole in its verdict. The state contends that the following constitute statutory aggravating circumstances: where the offense of murder was committed by a person with a prior record of conviction for a capital felony. In this connection, I charge you that the offense of armed robbery is a capital felony under Georgia law. Where the offense of murder was committed while the defendant was engaged in the commission of another capital felony or aggravated battery. In this connection, the offense of kidnapping with bodily injury of John Brooks is a capital felony. The state also contends that the murder of Elmer Buddy Christian occurred while the defendant was engaged in the commission of aggravated battery against Elmer Buddy Christian, that the murder of Elmer Buddy Christian occurred while the defendant was engaged in the commission of an aggravated battery against Tony Howard, and that the murder of Kenneth Amari Ray occurred while the defendant was engaged in the commission of an aggravated battery against Kenneth Amari Ray. Where the offense of murder was outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhumane, in that it involved depravity of mind of the victims, Elmer Buddy Christian and Kenneth Amari Ray, prior to the death of these victims. Where the offense of murder was committed against a peace officer, Elmer Buddy Christian, while he was engaged in the performance of his official duties. Where the murder was committed for the purpose of the defendant avoiding, interfering with, or preventing his lawful arrest. The state contends that the offense of murder in this case was outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhumane, in that depravity of mind or aggravated battery of the victim. The state has the burden of proving the statutory aggravating circumstance beyond a reasonable doubt. The state must prove to your satisfaction and beyond a reasonable doubt that the depravity of mind or aggravated battery of the victim was of such a nature that the murder was outrageously wanton, vile, horrible, or inhumane. Aggravated battery occurs when a person maliciously causes bodily harm to another by depriving that person of a part of his body, by rendering a part of the person's body useless, or by seriously disfiguring the person's body or body part. In order to find that the offense of murder involved aggravated battery, you must find that the bodily harm to the victim occurred before death. Depravity of mind refers to an utterly corrupt, perverted, or immoral state of mind. In determining whether the offense of murder in this case involved depravity of mind on the part of the defendant, you may consider the age and physical characteristics of the victim, and you may consider the actions of the defendant prior to and after the commission of the murder. In order to find the offense of murder involving depravity of mind,
You must find the defendant as a result of utter corruption, perversion, or immorality, committed aggravated battery or torture upon a living person, or subjected the body of a deceased victim to mutilation or serious disfigurement or sexual abuse. You would not be authorized to return a finding of this statutory aggravating circumstance unless you are convinced beyond a reasonable doubt not only that the murder involved depravity of mind or aggravated battery of the victim, but that the murder was also outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhumane. Should you be convinced beyond a reasonable doubt of the existence of this statutory aggravating circumstance, then your verdict should reflect your finding, if you so find that the murder was outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhumane. Your verdict should also reflect your finding, if you so find that the murder involved at least one of the following: depravity of mind or aggravated battery of the victim. Your verdict should specify which of these was involved in the murder. Whether or not any one or more of the statutory aggravating circumstances that I have just given you in charge exist beyond a reasonable doubt in this case is a matter solely for you, the jury, to decide and determine from the evidence in this case. When you retire to begin your deliberations as to the penalty to be imposed in this case, you will be given a written copy of these statutory instructions regarding statutory aggravating circumstances to be used by you during your deliberations. I caution and instruction, however, that such written instructions are not evidence and not to be considered by you as evidence in this case. They are merely and solely for the purpose of aiding you in remembering these statutory instructions that the court has given you in charge and are sent out with you for that purpose alone and no other. I misspoke, and I'm going to reread a paragraph to you for the statement. The defendant is on page 2. Under Georgia law, a sentence of death shall not be imposed unless the jury first finds beyond a reasonable doubt and designates in its verdict in writing at least one or more statutory aggravating circumstances. It then fixes the sentence of death in its verdict. For that, does the state have any additional evidence to offer at this stage of the proceeding?
The judge, and prior to that, we would have no statement.
Okay. Well, let me ask the defendant, do you have any evidence to offer in this stage of the proceeding?
Yes, sir, we're waiting after they get finished with the procedural after they.
All right. Malden, you may do up your statement.
The police court, the jury, as you know, your verdict is found the defendant guilty of the murder of Elmer Buddy Christian, as well as the murder of Kenneth Lamar Ray. And the issue at this stage of the proceeding, the question for each of you as jurors and as a jury as a whole, is what sentence to impose: death, life without parole, or life with the possibility of parole. That question, ladies and gentlemen, I submit, was answered on the night of March 25th, 2011, by the defendant himself. Shortly after he made the statement, whatever I get, I deserve, I can't blame nobody. He stated, if y'all want to give me the death chair, I deserve it. By what I did. He said that on at least 2 other occasions in the statement to Agents Rossler and Hilton. He recognized, I would submit, at that time in his mind that what he had done deserved the death. Not every murder is one where the death may be imposed by a jury. The legislature has indicated that only under certain circumstances may the state seek and may a jury find the death can be imposed. And what they talk about is certain statutory aggravating circumstances. And the state has filed notice about its intent to seek the death penalty in this matter and outline the statutory aggravating circumstances that are present in this particular case. And let me go over each of those with you at this point. And when you consider whether or not those are present, you can consider all the evidence that's come out in the case so far, as well as anything that may come out during this phase of the proceeding. Number one, the offenses of murder as set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment was committed by Jamie Donnell Hood against a peace officer, Officer Elmer Buddy Christian of the Athens-Clarke County Police Department, while Officer Christian was engaged in the performance of his official duties. That particular statutory aggravating circumstances, I would submit, has already been proven by the state beyond a reasonable doubt, and has been designated as such by your verdict in this case. Number two, the offenses of murder is set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment was committed by a person, Jamie Donnell Hood, with a prior record of conviction for a capital felony, that is armed robbery, under indictment number SU 97CR0877 in the Superior Court of Clarke County. The defendant having been sentenced on March 3rd, 1999. That is a matter. That circumstance as well, I would submit, has already been proven by the state and has been found to exist by your verdict already. Number three, the offenses of murder set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment were committed by the offender, Jamie Donnell Hood, while he was engaged in the performance of an aggravated battery against Officer Elmer Buddy Christian. I would submit that evidence is proving that as well. And the evidence that you can rely on in this matter to find that particular statutory aggravating circumstance beyond reasonable doubt. That Elmer Buddy Christian, and the bullet that basically entered his body, deprived him of his lungs, his diaphragm, his stomach, and his aorta, severing his aorta, and resulting also in the loss of blood to his brain, in essence as well, depriving him of that part of his body. Aggravated battery, as the judge just defined it for you, is where someone maliciously causes bodily harm to another by depriving them of a member of their body, by rendering a member of their body useless or a part thereof, or by seriously disfiguring that particular person. Number four, the offenses of murder is set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the above referenced indictment were outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, inhuman, and then involved in aggravated battery to the victim, Officer Elmer Buddy Christian. I'll submit to that. Number five, the offenses of murder is set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment were outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhuman, and then involved in depravity of mind. I'll submit that's been shown by the evidence. Number six, the offenses of murder set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment were committed while the offender, Jamie Donnell Hood, was engaged in the commission of aggravated battery against Officer Tony Howard. At the time he killed Officer Buddy Christian, that offense was ongoing as he was fleeing the offense that he committed on Officer Howard. Number seven, the offense of murder set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment were committed while the offender, Jamie Donnell Hood, was engaged in the commission of a capital felony, that is, kidnapping with bodily injury against Jadon Brooks. At the time he shot and killed Buddy Christian, he was fleeing that particular felony. And consequently, it's our contention that that occurred while he was still engaged in the commission of that capital felony against Jadon Brooks. And further, in regard to the offenses of murder set forth in counts 1, 2, and 3 of the indictment were committed by Jamie Donnell Hood for the purpose of avoiding, interfering with, or preventing a lawful arrest of himself. And I'll submit that evidence has already shown that as well. The last four, 9, 10, 11, 12, indicate that the offenses of murder set forth in counts 50, 51, and 52 of the indictment involving the murder of Kenneth Lamar Ray were committed while the offender, Jamie Donnell Hood, was engaged in the commission of an aggravated battery against Kenneth Lamar Ray. Again, the judge has defined aggravated battery for you. And if you recall, at that time, deprived him of his lung and his diaphragm at that point in other parts. Number 10, the offense of murder set forth in counts 50, 51, and 52 of the indictment were outrageously and wantonly vile, horrible, or inhuman, and then involved in aggravated battery to the victim of Kenneth Lamar Ray. Number 11, the offenses of murder set forth in counts 50, 51, 52 of the indictment were outrageously or wantonly vile, horrible, or inhuman, and then involved in depravity of mind. And then lastly, number 12, the offenses of murder set forth in counts 50, 51, and 52 of the above referenced indictment were committed by a person, Jamie Donnell Hood, with a prior record of conviction for a capital felony to wit armed robbery under indictment number SU 97 CR 0877 in the Superior Court of Clark County. In regard to the sentence for the offenses of murder against Elmer Buddy Christian, you must find beyond a reasonable doubt at least one of the statutory aggravating circumstances. You don't have to find all. I would submit that evidence has shown beyond a reasonable doubt that those aggravating circumstances are present in regard to the death of Officer Elmer Buddy Christian. And I would submit that your findings for a number of those have already indicated that. In regard, before you can find the sentence of death, in regard to the murder of Kenneth Lamar Ray, you must find at least one of those four statutory aggravating circumstances outlined in regard to the death of Kenneth Lamar Ray. And I would submit to you that evidence has already shown that, and that your verdict so far has indicated in regard to at least one of those that that finding is there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage of the proceedings, when we go into the sentencing phase that we all talked about in our voir dire when we were over in Elgin, we went through that. This is the sentencing phase. And at this point, the state may present evidence in aggravation, the defense may present evidence in mitigation at this point for you to consider. But as I indicated, in making your determination about the statutory aggravating circumstances as well as the sentence to impose for each of those murders, you may consider everything that's already come out in the trial as well as what may come out during the sentencing phase. And consider all of that at that time. This first phase for the state will consist mainly and primarily of victim impact statements of different folks who were affected by the death of Elmer Buddy Christian, as well as the death of Kenneth Lamar Ray. And you should understand that that testimony as it comes out, those folks who will come forward cannot just talk freely as they normally would with a witness. Whatever it is that they're going to say has been carefully scrutinized and looked at, and they have prepared statements that they are authorized to read. And I expect that basically their testimony, as they will be presented one by one, will be for them to come forward, be sworn in, to identify who they are, and primarily to go ahead and read their victim impact statement to you. The defendant will have an opportunity to cross-examine him if he chooses to do so. Most everybody will simply read their victim impact statement to you, as it's been authorized for them to do under those circumstances. You will have some additional matters. You may have, in fact, some photographs that will be presented. Those will be additional matters that will go before you as well. But primarily, it will be the victim impact statements. We may have some other evidence other than what's already been presented in aggravation at this point. But we may not have that at the beginning part of this phase of the trial. The defendant has talked a good bit about his prior conviction in '97, as well as the death of his brother, Timothy Hood. And I expect that to be presented by the defendant at this time, as it was not relevant to the guilt-innocence part of this trial at all, and not something that was lawful to be considered. And I expect him to come in and basically call some witnesses from the case that happened in the trial that occurred in the late 90s, where he basically had a trial, was represented by counsel, and where he was found guilty of armed robbery in that case, the issue 97 case has been set forth already. And I expect the victim to be recalled here by the defendant at this point. We've made arrangements for him to be available for the defendant to call. You're going to hear about what happened to him, as he was a pizza delivery boy about 19 years old in July of 1997, when he was robbed at gunpoint by the defendant, Jamie Donnell Hood. You will also hear at this point, I would expect, circumstances surrounding the death of his brother, Timothy Hood, that he wants to offer in mitigation for your consideration. And I expect the evidence, as you will hear it to be, will basically show that on the late evening, almost midnight of November the 6th, 2001, and leading up into the early morning of November the 7th, 2001, officers responded to a car that was left in the middle of the road on West Broad Street, a Mitsubishi automobile that was smoking. It was in there in the middle of Broad Street in front of what used to be the old Kroger, is now the Omni Club. And it's about a quarter of a mile from the location of the events on Sycamore on March 22nd, 2011. The officers responded to that as it was left in the middle of the road, smoke coming from it. Officer Enderly responded and basically saw at that time some other folks trying to find out whose car that was at that point. And they asked a number of different people, is that your car? Is that your car? People who were there, they were informed that folks almost hit the car as it was parked there in the middle of the roadway. There was an indication that there was an individual who had run from that across the street, not toward the Kroger, but toward the apartments, College Place, near Old F Bridge, in the MVG Bank. Some of those areas that y'all have seen on Officer Moss's video as you're turned onto Broad Street heading to Sycamore. Those areas on the right, once again. That it was a black male, a red shirt, and khakis. Officer John Little responded to that. And he was told by Enderly the information and given the description of that individual about that. And went up for that direction. And Officer Little at that time went looking for the driver of the car to find out what was going on. And he turned on Old F Bridge as it veers off that roadway, off Broad, and heads up behind the MVG Bank, behind the McDonald's, going up toward Hawthorne. And as he did, he saw an individual that matched the description of the person who was seen running. That individual turned out to be Timothy Hood. And he wound up at that time approaching him and wound up rolling down his passenger window and asking him pretty much, how you doing? what's going on. At that point, Timothy Hood leaned into the window and said, I work for the Drug and Vice Unit. I need to speak to you. He had slurred speech. He had a white powder around his face. As you will learn, also, I expect, that he had cocaine in the system, other drugs, and a .16 blood alcohol level at that time. At that point, Officer Little simply stopped his car there, kind of in the road, kind of there at the back rear entrance to the MBG bank, and proceeded out of the driver's door and came around to the front, toward the front corner. And as he did, he was confronted by Timothy Hood with a gun. Then he put the gun to the left forehead and said, I'm going to effing kill you. Officer Little grabbed the gun with his right hand, told him, don't do this, man, and commanded him to let go. And the evidence will show at that time he pulled it down, he pulled it into his vest, so if it did go off, he'd be shot to death. Officer Little was left-handed. Perhaps that was fortunate. Because at that time, as it was not let go, he was able to draw his service revolver and shot Timothy Hood 2 times in the chest and abdomen area. Timothy Hood went to the ground. He immediately went back for cover behind his patrol vehicle at that point, commanding him not to do anything with the weapon as it was still underneath and right near within arm's reach of Timothy Hood. Officer Enderly arrived at that point, and at that point, he wound up coming up. They had guns drawn because at that point, Timothy Hood was still somewhat trying to reach for, still moving as if he was reaching for a weapon. Officer Ty Carroll as well arrived at that point. And they came over there and wound up picking back or pushing back that weapon that Timothy Hood had, which was a Ruger 9mm, fully loaded at that point. They proceeded, another officer did proceed to basically offer aid to Timothy Hood. He was taken to the hospital, but later he was pronounced dead. Those were the circumstances that the defendant had been speaking about this whole time. And I will submit to you, there's nothing with those circumstances that will in any way mitigate what the defendant did on March 22nd, 2011. In fact, I would submit to you that certainly provides a motive for what he did on that date. And the statements he made about what he was going to do to the police, about killing them, if he had the opportunity prior to that, the Jadon books and others, as he went through that. And the evidence will show you on that day, on March 22nd, that was the motivation behind what happened to Tony Howard and what happened to Buddy Christian. And it does not in any way mitigate, but I will submit to you, aggravate what happened on that day. There may be other evidence submitted in this trial, in this phase of the trial. I don't know how long it'll be. I don't expect it to be too very long, but sometimes things will last words of lawyers as we go through that. But I will submit, ladies and gentlemen, that when we conclude this phase of the trial, that the evidence in this matter will show you not only the statutory aggravating circumstances, at least one, if not all of those, are present in each one of those murders. But in this instance, the defendant deserves and should be sentenced to death, as he himself indicated that he deserved on March 25th, 2011, in his statement to those agents. Thank you very much.
Mr. Hood, you have the option of opening statement now or concluding today's presentation.
I'm gonna get up with
You want to close?
I'm disappointed when I'm still in. As I told you all in the opening, I'm on my whole life to you for good as bad. And I like to be a man of the word, even though I'm hurt and wounded, but I'm still who I am. Yes, I am disappointed with your verdict. However, can't do nothing about to move forward. You know, my story ain't gonna change. My circumstances ain't gonna change. Again, I'm here about why. Can't get off of it. And as I told you in the opening, I am not here for Jamie Hood. I'm here about righteousness. You know, I'm still here about these kids coming behind me. That's why I'm still going. Part of me didn't want to present no litigation, whatever the deception on my behalf. So, again, I feel like my life is a tool that we can learn from, because I don't want to see people end up like me, whether you're a police or child or citizen, whatever. So, y'all heard me tell you what I told you. Kind of hurt me, you ain't mind, but what can I say? Well, my story never will change. Never will. I'm going to present evidence to you that you didn't hear the first things. You know, that's the objection, what I call it. You know, you couldn't hear a lot of things. I felt like y'all had a herds of things that y'all ran out here about. Maybe you could come back with different feelings about me. And I suggest when you get home, look at it on YouTube. They got it on there. So you can evaluate what you saw and what you missed. You know, I'm still have respect for you, stand up for you as I promised. So, this for me started back July 29, 1997. I have a trial transcript here to show you evidence. I personally requested this, a lady, victim, or whoever it is, because it is personal to me. It's very, very, very personal. It is. Can't deny that. I'm going to show y'all facts from the transcript and records, so as far as you might be able to get a better grasp of my understanding, how I feel, and the things that happen in my life that ultimately led us to this unfortunate situation. Me and my friend, we ride downtown. Well, we picked up my girlfriend. We left my mom's house. I never forget the mom's Aaliyah, July 29, 1997. We left my mom's house. We picked up my girl. She worked at Aggravating hospital. We went back to the Class A motel. Me and her went inside moments. I came back out there with a friend, Tavares Smith. We called him Troy. We was in the 1991 9200 car. We rode downtown lotteries. We rode downtown areas. We headed out toward 5 points toward the bowling alley. Didn't make it there for him. I told him, let's just go back to the motel. We get candy. And we just go downtown to the club. Chloe off around and he got behind us. So quickly he pulled us over the fence for a tag. We had a paper tag on the car. He told us he pulled us up for a drive-out tag. So we sit there. There's a pizza man by the name of John McKinney. Said he was robbed at Waterford Place Park next. Not nowhere near where we were when they put us over. The pizza man said the man who robbed him was walking. Said the man was walking. You would ship the evidence will show you he never seen the man who robbed him getting a car at home. Not at all. Say the man had a small pistol with him, silver pistol in his report. I don't know he had it, wasn't me. I never played guilty to it. Been telling folks for centuries, well, for decades, wasn't me. I want to show you why. And I want to show you how. Because ultimately, it played a great role in me standing here now. I feel. Y'all don't have to agree with me. Y'all have shown me y'all don't agree with me, but I'm still telling you what I'm telling you. It can't change. It's very disturbing when I think about it, even talk about it. Very, very disturbing to me. This guy said he called the police, said he was scared for his life. I imagine he would, anybody would be brought scared for their life. He said he gave the police a written report. But the strange thing is, you will see from the record, after he talked to the police and gave him a written report, this guy said he wasn't looking for the man who brought him, no police help, no gun or nothing. Just all of a sudden turned to Superman, wasn't looking for the man who brought him. You see, I got it right here. I'm going to show it to you. And I called him back in because I wanted to look at his face when I talked to him about it. I want to look at him in his eyes when I talk to him. This guy said he on his way back to Papa John Peace, he riding down the road. See, the police got a cardboard on what's being in front of him. This guy said he parked his car at the road, walked back down the road at the police. Oh, these suspects in my robbery. Yeah. Out of nowhere. Are these suspects in my robbery? Officer Ryan McGee from the pizza man testified and said, yeah, they suspect sitting in the back of the car. And lo and behold, I do 12 straight back on you. 12 straight. I'm going to show you the evidence where Officer Ryan McGee told the jury. I didn't tell him that. I told him I didn't know. Yeah, you told him that. Never sent me to prison. This legal identification never started me to study law. How can you tell a man I'm a suspect in robbery that I ain't know what it is? I don't even know. How could you do that? I'm going to show it to you. That's why I understand I had to take a note about identification. If you recall, it's illegal to tell a victim or a dead victim that you got a suspect. We don't do that. That's why I asked you that. I was setting that up for this point. How could you do that, man? How could you do me like that? How? I can also show you other evidence during the trial. Police give false testimony as they did here the same way. When is it going to stop? Make the jury leave the room, and I come in and I can't recall and tell them something, and they're going to go for it. In my heart, I feel like y'all convicted me of false believing evidence. It ain't your fault. You didn't object, you didn't ask to go out here. This guy here. How many times y'all done this? You probably can't count. How many times we objected when I want to serve? Saying certain things, I'm objecting. If the man had it, remember him when I said integrity and righteousness, that's what I was talking about. I know what's coming because I've seen it, unfortunately. It ain't y'all fault. Y'all supposed to believe in the judge. You're supposed to believe in the police. You're supposed to believe in the prosecutor. That's just the way life is. Y'all good country, wholesome people. Y'all ain't used to people being no drunk, no police getting killed. If I don't know after had people like Jadon Roach and Tony Howell and kill them all, I stayed there with y'all. I didn't know. I didn't have to move here. I was a kid. I'm not here for James, as I told you. I know it's the kids looking. That's why I had to come back. I don't want to see no kid, no person end up like me in my position. Don't want to see. That's why I'm here. I work very hard to educate myself, to represent myself. I think I did pretty good at 34 charges. I appreciate them 34, make me feel pretty good about myself. Work hard. But it went for me, it's all about the truth. It's all about prevention. But it's all about the conviction to these people right here. There's no morals. I'm not happy. I ain't been happy. For years I ain't been happy. I'm going to show you more evidence about that illegal conviction. I did an appeal in prison. This ain't right. I'm going to fight. I'm going to fight them. Bill cold tough, ready tough. Fight to the end. Long as for I got what I believe in. I'm trying to mention they're going to kill you, you represent yourself. Well, they can kill my body, but they ain't going to kill my soul or my mind. Because this is what I believe in. I have a purpose and I have meaning even though I'm in my situation right now. See, I do. I really do. So, one prison, I told you about the girl, lived there while I'm a man. Judge allow many people to do this, and he a black judge. That's why I learned about racism. I can't blame it on white folks or the black folks. They be really that gonna bad in my situation. I just think racism, it's still here, but it taught me to judge a person individually. We didn't have the bad times in life, how can we know what the good times are? It's a bad situation. Not just me, everybody. Sometimes I guess a higher power is a bad thing to have for us to learn, and that's how we learn how to do good. All bad. I seen him throughout this whole trial and I looked at this guy. Dude, are you tripping? Why don't you want to be over here? Why are we here? And you're a man of high. Man got a high position. And what I have learned through my unfortunate situation in life is not that police, it's not the judicial system, it's the individuals who abuse it. I didn't kill Buddy Christian in person. I killed Buddy Christian in police officer. Let me explain that to you. I never seen Buddy my whole life. How could I hate Buddy or want to kill Buddy? Now you know the you don't even know me. How? It wasn't Buddy, it was that bad history, that uniform, that sand. I heard him tell y'all, why he just didn't get on the ground. People always have me that because it was that fear, this bad history. On a personal note, maybe they gotta show me and my family that video of my brother, let us see I could have got on the ground. Because I would have trusted you. How can you not trust the police? That's going on. You turn on the TV, you see people say they get stressed, they hate the police. It's not the police. It's the corrupt individual and the corrupt prosecutor who let them get away with it. I can tell y'all first-hand experience. It hurt me y'all trying to matter to kill Buddy. Man, I ain't know I was going to see you today. Don't even know. My brother missed the turn. Don't forget me. If he had to make that turn to that red light, I would have seen Tony Howard up, but I would have been behind him. What he saw? Your dog broke you out there shut the door and you threatened to kill folks. You called the police and you know the police were looking for me. Y'all want to sell dope. You want to threaten folks. You want to gang bang with this slick boy mess. Then you want to run to the police. As y'all know, I kept emphasizing that 911, listen at the tape. Listen at it. Not one time he's missing any drugs when he called 911. Misled folks. It's just like throwing a rock high in your hand. Y'all, contact me to 55. And his name is Joe. He knew it. How did you do that, man? How did you do that? I would have never seen Tony Howard or little Buddy Christian that day if this cat had never called and then laid it down on one. And he's still on the street. I never asked y'all let me know. So we got to learn from this. We, not just Jalen, we as a whole. There's a lot of people looking on that camera, and I know it's a lot of people. There's a lot of Jamie Lewis. There's a lot of Buddy Christians out there. There's a lot of Jadon Brooks. There's a lot of Tony Howard's out there. There's a lot of them. We got to learn that my life has had to be it need me to be the platform to learn to keep people out of my position. Hey, my heart and my soul was my mind being peace. I heard this kid just talk about the brother. He just told y'all my brother was shot in the chest and abdomen. The autopsy show he got hit in his left shoulder and his right chest. Autopsy reports don't lie. And I have it, I've read it. Did you hear? Shot him in the abdomen area, and y'all heard it? Now he got the man in his left shoulder, in his right chest. Where the video at came off, can we see? I'm gonna show it to you. Oh, unless he object, of course. How did you hide a video, but you still here 14, 15 years ago? Don't look you right in your face, and he even read our cop report. Don't say you shot the man in the abdomen. Nah, man, in the left shoulder, in the right chest. And he know it. But you just heard it. They need to stop this mess because they can deteriorate a person mentally and have them do something they ain't got no way to do. I guess he feel like y'all convicted me the first time, he come in and tell you another lie. It's not the prosecutor office, it's this guy and the ones who like him. Know he lied and go sit here and do it anyway. You got to be tracking. What's wrong with you, man? Tony Howard. Yep. Jury let me got away. I go out here and violate protocol with you. Yep, they got James Wood for it. I can come out to call one on somebody again. I don't got to call the Adams County Police Department. I'm Tony Howard. I'm the police. That hurt me now. I got to adhere to what y'all rule, but how? I'm trying to figure out. Man, I didn't pull out a gun, dude. I was trying to run past you. Come out and call one on me. I was trying to show y'all throughout the whole trial. Other police officers, they wouldn't even done it the way he done it. Some of them cried, they were hurt by Buddy, but they still said they would have done what Tony did. And them officers have to respect them officers. The one who said that. It took a lot of guts to do that, to tell one of your own co-workers I wouldn't have done what you're doing. Because they see it. Man, you gotta follow protocol, boy. This police you want to never have. I was trying to emphasize that parking a car. Man, you gotta park your car according to protocol. I could have shot you. You couldn't even came out the car when they grabbed me. You couldn't have. You would have got shot. In my position, Buddy Christian would have got shot. He didn't make the gun so fire. What made it happen? March 22nd, 2011. Hey, I was almost out of prison 2 years. I never killed a cop. I'd have been pulled over by the police. And I got some warning tickets off of them too. Why didn't I get out shooting them? From a cop killer, why didn't I get out and start shooting them Friday, March 22nd, 2011? Because they were professional. They didn't jump out that car screaming and hollering. They didn't do that. And then wrote me a warning ticket. Man, look, man, tighten up, man, what we done? I didn't shoot it. Didn't shoot it. You were professional. Look at the record. That's my home outside. I seen Tony Howard several times today. Man, I ain't trying to shoot you, man. If I wanted to kill my big kill me. If I was a cop, kill out the big down there. If I was a cop doing that manhunt, it would have been at least 4 months. What could you have done, man? I'm not a cop. Y'all make y'all own decision. But in my position, I would never feel like I'm a cop killer or mounted cop. Sanderson played hard for me to keep working, but I felt like I was just selfish if I didn't get up and present the other part. And I always felt like I'd been doing them kids out there great injustice if I hadn't answered the call after I'd have been found guilty. At the end of the day, I'm not selfish. As far as the drugs, I told them this emotion right. You got CDL license. Man, I'm trying to work, man. All I want to do is drive a Peterbilt. Why can't I drive it? I'm here to educate. But every person telling a person that they can't work or do that good in life, you endorsing crime. You endorse it. I think about it all the time, man. You have money still be living about driving that Peterbilt, you let to work. And I felt like a slave where free is your over-decade free labor. I still can't shake it. How could you work me for free when I'm willing to get out there and work as a man you did not pay? Why they do that? That's why I say, I told y'all in the closing, Jamie, now this is Jamie. You tell me America is the land of the free. When I see what I can see, I think you're doing stand-up comedy when you talking like that. Or is it a certain class free? What it is. When I turn that TV on, I look at my life. I watch the news all the time. Won't get to the free channel. I get it good from watching the news all the time. I can keep up with going on in life. There's a saying that says, together we stand, divided we fall. You look on the news, it don't look like we standing together. It's a hell of a division. And best believe America and other countries watching. Russia and China watching. As we march against the police and police killing folks won't ever be done about it. Street gang going against street gang. People like Jadon Brook come out here and say they don't want to kill folks, want to run to the police. For all y'all young guys out here selling dope and gang bang, do your daggone time. Crime, you do your daggone time. Don't go call the police now. Do your crime, do your time. Stop snitching your dog and arresting. Prosecutor seen them folks take the stand, they were scared to testify. My brother hurt me. The man, we look at him, y'all, he see himself on video, he's so scared of, oh, I ain't gonna say that. It's not designed to do that. The man was scared. Man, these folks do what they want to do. He already tried to give me some more time. Mr. Moldy, a.k.a. Mr. Objections in my book. I'm standing where I was in my own bed. My career as a man testified that the same gun was used to kill Mr. Monterey, the same gun who robbed me. Whatever that hurt me, dog. Mr. Ray found I did not kill your son. And I go to my grave with that. Go find the people who robbed me. They use the same gun. I'm pretty sure they probably looked at the camera laughing. We done got away. He gonna use my expert records to discredit him. But he been used them. So, how many people they decide to prison using an expert? Y'all got to free him. If he wasn't no good in this case, he couldn't be no good in other cases. How many folks Mr. Marlon used this man sitting in prison? You got to let him go. Let me get Mr. Robinson record. You ain't getting his record when you using it. Asking Clark County District trying to use several times. And he was on my brother's case when they killed my brother. Oh, you use him when you killed my brother, but you gonna discredit him when his brother used him against you. This guy right here, I have the records. When you gonna stop? You got to get him out of he too old anyway. You can have 30-something years replaced with something young and strong. Get it up. I'm gonna go say, Defendant, how you let me beat you 34 charges, man? Ain't that to you? Go on against one man, I beat him 34 charges. What is this? That's a joke. And they were cheating. And I still beat him out 34 charges. Let's show you how sorry the officer is, not how sorry the individual in the office is. It ain't awful. That don't change. I'm going to introduce the evidence from the coaching football against the kids. Some of the people, they told my investigation, man, we ain't going to get involved, but they might get us after we testify. Folks, scared of them. How can you be scared of the police and the prosecutor, man? What world is this? Folks scared around here. We ain't going to testify, we scared. Saying lucky daddy and Tia, man, you know what's going to make you say something? Still made them do it because they're scared. How can you be scared of the police or people who work in the judicial system of service? They're scared. We'll let you down sit here and say look all day long, you think? Mr. Brooks, you know you call police to give them false information, as long as you tell what you say I am. If you lock one of them up, Mr. Mall, you got to lock all of them up. I want to bring some of y'all attention. Mr. Quentin Biggie did a live interview to the media tonight. Jamie didn't do no harm. He treated her like family. What made that man change that? You got to ask yourself, what Mr. Red changed his tune for? Either y'all gonna help us protect Jamie Hood, or we gonna lock y'all up for harming the future, or you gonna get your business out. This tape recorder, why didn't y'all bring the tape recorder here and show it to us? How do we know Mr. Quick phone had a recording on it in the first place? You won't let us see it. I'm greatly disturbed by that. Why didn't you bring a voice expert to say this Jamie Hood? You brought the expert on a piece of tape. Oh, this is tape was on, you know, I'm putting this expert. This minute, y'all. But you won't bring it on this phone and show us the phone. I'm greatly disturbed by that. Y'all can only work with what y'all had. Look at YouTube when y'all go home. I suggest you'll see it yourself. You might be blown away at what you missed. Kind of like, this is where I see it, jurors. My first trial, this trial. Jurors are rational-minded, civil citizen people, resident folk, work. You what you're supposed to be in life. You what makes up society. Well, mainstream side anyway. Y'all more inclined to believe the police or the prosecutor. It's just the way it is in life. It's just the way it is. consciously, now this is me talking, I could be wrong, a juror would be inclined to believe a police or anybody, I hate to say it, especially young black men. Because the young black men have so many negative images about themselves, you stereotype. They ain't gonna kill somebody. I believe this officer over him just because of his skin color. Because when you see one of them, you think you're seeing Jadon Brooks. Jadon Brooks is the average stereotypical black man that society views as. Don't see us as men. No education, they can't read or write. Sell dope and rob, steal, and kill, and big rims on their car and chase a big booty girl up there, they not. If they ain't run the football and field of basketball, I don't want to deal with it. That's why I started coaching football back at that. I was in prison, I seen the faces, they look younger, every year they get younger and younger and younger. Younger is the black man. The kids, they done lost with, they have to tell you, how can you be a man and your daddy locked up, he dead? Or a video game or TV can't teach you to be no man. Or nobody like Jadon Brooks can't, or Ken Campbell can't teach you to be no man. Them grown little boys. They the law before they got started. Ain't no masculinity there. Ain't no masculinity there. They don't know, how can they know how to be a man? And you got a boy teaching you how to be a man. How could you? I got to take mine right on the chin because I can't let these kids feel like it's okay. I'm going to tell you something. I'm kind of ashamed to tell you. Mama told me one day for something in the newspaper, they had a daggone fan page about Jamie Hoods and this first happened and I shot the police. That just blows me away. How can you be a fan of somebody good police, man? Something wrong with life. I want to see what they don't let me come back and tell y'all kids, hey, look, man, don't do this, and I ain't mean to do it, this one, this, don't do that. I had to face it. Had to represent myself. You know, a lot of you couldn't talk like I'm talking. I done seen something y'all ain't seen. I had to study law, just to stay in the courtroom. It was all about the truth. It was all about the message. I'm not trying to be no law. When I get no more, when I go to prison, let me show you how to do the law when your time cut off you, man. You ain't got no business doing it, they can give you 30 for me. Long as you willing to read, long as you willing to educate yourself, I get you. I help you, just like I was helping them kids. That's something nobody can take away from me, regardless of how bad they talk about me. There's some kids out there, some parents who respect me and love me because of what I've done for them. And I'm proud of them. And then, you know, every moment I didn't lose the game when I was coaching. I love walking around acting my chest stuck out. Got something for y'all this day. I done it. I might not can't tell you what to do, but I can gonna tell you what not to do. So, we got some more pretty sure I can talk to you about. Gotta get y'all home. Y'all been gone a long time. Pretty sure you found a mission. Well, I know they miss you. I ain't gonna show it pretty, and I know they miss you. So I'm gonna present what I'm gonna present, and whatever y'all, after you view the evidence or whatever, I'm gonna still stand up and I'm gonna respect you, like I'm doing now. Am I disappointed hurt you? You know, it's a great day to be somewhere, someplace. Last but not least, I'm gonna bring some officers in here. They're gonna tell you about some good things I done done. They're gonna show you everything bad. I guess in a position is their job. So just one minute. And I see you when I see you at the end, and we'll see how they shake out. All right.
Mr. Baldwin. Following first witness.
Yes, Your Honor, I am. call Ruby Jordan.